Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and what I got for you today is a review of the Syma X5SC Headless Mode Quadcopter. The X5SC is very similar in performance to the X5C, with the addition that this now includes a headless mode, and it's not your generic headless mode that doesn't remember the heading throughout the flight. This one does remember the initial base heading that it was set to when it takes off, when it was bound with the transmitter, which means that you can use this headless mode as a return to home feature, and I will demonstrate that in today's video. Differences between this and the X5SC: it has a thicker body. They dropped the camera down even lower than it was on the X5C. It has different landing gear skids, so if you desire, you can remove this camera. And it does remove very easily as compared to the original X5C with a clip. But you can remove this camera and include your own camera if desired. Keep in mind that this thing does not have a lot of lifting power, so we're talking about an 808 camera, keychain camera, if you want to include it. Other difference is it has a different type of battery door than the X5C. It's a slide-in battery door. I actually like this better than the X5C's battery door. It's easier to get the battery in and out, easier to close the door than on the X5C. Similar lighting to the X5C. This one comes in a cool jet black. I like that. It just looks cool. Let's go into a flight. I want to demonstrate the camera. First off, I'm going to send it up and demonstrate the camera, do a short demonstration of the camera, because I want to really talk about the headless mode. That's the big thing about this quadcopter that makes it stand out from the X5C. It is a good feature on this quadcopter. I did a little testing of it at my home last night. So let's go into a flight and see how it performs. Okay, first let's start off with a quick discussion of headless mode, what it is and what it does for you. When this quadcopter is initially bound with a transmitter, it remembers a reference heading which it was pointed at. Say we pick that mountain off in the distance and we place our quadcopter on the ground and bind it with a transmitter. It will remember that mountain or the direction to that mountain throughout the flight. So when you activate headless mode by pushing down on this upper left control button and holding it down, the the direction that the quadcopter is pointed, the yaw, is irrelevant to control of the quadcopter. All the control of the quadcopter when in headless mode is done strictly through the pitch roll stick. So that when you push forward on the pitch roll stick, the quadcopter will move in the direction of that mountain, into the bearing of that mountain there. If you pull back on the stick, the quadcopter will move backward away from that mountain. And same with left and right. It will move left and right with the reference direction of that mountain in mind. So, in effect, if you would, say, fly off 45 degrees to the right of the mountain and you lose orientation on your quadcopter, all you need to do to bring it back to you is activate headless mode, as a reference point, point your transmitter in the direction of the mountain. Now, there's no compass inside this. It has nothing to do with compass. You're just pointing it toward the mountain to maintain reference. And to bring the quadcopter back to you, all you got to do is point your pitch roll stick 180 degrees from where it's at to bring it toward you. So let's demonstrate that. I'm going to bind the quadcopter on the ground, pointing it in the direction of that mountain, and then we're going to go out and fly somewhere, activate headless mode, and bring the quadcopter back to us. We'll do it several times to demonstrate this feature. Okay, turning on the quadcopter. It has a nice red switch to turn it on, pointing the quadcopter in the direction of that mountain, giving it a few seconds to let the gyros stabilize, binding to the transmitter, and let's go for a flight. Now we got a nice breeze coming from the left. There's another thing I want to demonstrate is how the breeze does affect headless mode. Okay, let's say we're off at this point right now, and I have no idea what the orientation of my quadcopter is. All I need to do is activate headless mode and pull the stick back 180 degrees from where the quadcopter's at. And keep doing that, adjusting as needed. And it brings the quadcopter right back to me. Okay, let's turn off headless mode by pressing down the button again and holding it for 3 seconds. Let's go off in that direction. And I'm going to have to go to expert to do that. It's windy up there. Oh, there's a heck of a breeze up there, and I can't fight it. That's the flip. Okay, I need to probably take off those prop guards so this can fight the breeze. Or just come down lower out of that breeze. Now this has a hard time fighting wind with the, I got to say this right now, fighting a breeze, a simple breeze. We're talking about a 5-mile-per-hour breeze with those prop guards on. Unfortunately, I did not bring a screwdriver with me to remove those prop guards. Future flights I will. Okay, I'm going to activate, yeah, this is going to be hard, but I'm going to activate headless mode and then pull the stick back 180 degrees from where that quadcopter's at. And because of the wind, it's really flying back. Okay, another thing with headless mode. Notice, I got full yaw on the quadcopter, and I can do pirouettes in the sky. Again, the direction that the quadcopter's pointed is irrelevant, and my lights are blinking. Okay, I'm bringing my quadcopter back. Coming out of headless mode. Okay, now I can fight the breeze. That breeze must calm down a bit there. Okay, I'm just concerned how this has a hard time fighting wind with these prop guards on it. So if you have prop guards on, you don't want to be outdoors with this. Let me activate the camera now. To activate the camera, you push down on the pitch roll or the throttle control. This is what the camera's seeing. It's a 2-megapixel camera. Okay, I'm at an altitude where there's no wind. I'm going to stay right there. But it is a relatively good camera for a 2-megapixel. Okay, I'm going to come down now. Cutting throttle. Now this quadcopter, again, I do not like how I set it to high. And it really is not really responsive at high in terms of pitch. And I got a feeling it's that those prop guards. Okay, I'm not sure if I turned the camera off. I just did now, because the camera will suck the batteries. It's nice and stable, but I just don't like the pitch. The pitch is really docile. I'm full forward pitch, folks, and there's hardly any wind at all, and it's just not fighting it. I'm going to bring it down. This is it. Okay, its batteries are flashing already because of the video I was taking. Okay, I'm going to put another battery in. Fortunately, this came with 2 batteries. We're going to go for a second flight. This time I'm not going to use the camera, hopefully to give us a little more flight time here. And I want to demonstrate stability. Right now, again, I'm concerned about this thing flying in the wind, especially with these prop guards on. It really doesn't have a lot of pitch to it, and I was in high. as you can see there. And it had a hard time fighting a very gentle breeze. Let's try that with another set of batteries. I'm going to play a little bit more with the headless mode. I'm not going to be recording to the camera because I want to give us some more flight time. Let's go put another battery in and see how it works. Okay, I've got a new battery in. We have a wind coming from that direction there, gentle breeze. I'm going to set the quadcopter and point it in that direction. That's a good thing to remember. If you're using headless mode and you want to use it as a return to home feature, it's always good to try to set it in the base heading in the direction of the prevailing wind. That just makes it all around easier for you. I'm going to turn on the quadcopter now, pointing it in the direction of that mountain. Binding it to the quadcopter. By the way, before I do bind it to the quadcopter, I want to let you know there is a way to reset this base heading during your flight. Just land the quadcopter, point it in a new direction, and move and hold both control sticks down to the lower left corner for about 5 seconds. That will reset the base heading for the headless mode. And you can do that during a flight. Just land it, point it in a new direction on the ground, and move and hold both sticks to the lower left corners. Okay, turning on the quadcopter and binding it to the transmitter. And that's our new base heading. Let's go for a flight. And advanced, or high. And again, it's having a hard time just fighting a simple breeze. Let's bring it down close to the ground. Again, beginners, do not fly this outdoors in the wind with those prop guards on. It just does not like it. It has a hard time fighting the breeze with the prop guards on. Really docile high mode on this. Okay, let's go off in that direction and say that's our new point where we lose orientation on the quadcopter. Say, oh no, I've lost orientation. You point the transmitter in the direction of the base heading. Press this left button down for 5 seconds. Activate headless mode and pull back 180 degrees from where the quadcopter's at. And notice it comes right back to you. Okay, let's go over in that direction now. Coming out of headless mode. Coming down lower, so I don't have to fight that wind as much. But boy, I must say that this is really docile. Let me try something, folks. I'm going to bring this in, and we are going to recalibrate the gyros, just to see if this might be a gyro issue. Nice and stable right now. Let me try a little. It is a nice stable flyer, but it's just that pitch. Full forward, that's full forward pitch. Again, let's calibrate the gyros and see if that might be the issue. I am going to place it on a relatively flat area that if I can find one. And to calibrate your gyros, that's not flat enough. I'm hoping that's flat. But to calibrate your gyros, you move and hold both control sticks to the lower right corner. The lower right corner, and then you wait about 5 to 10 seconds. Now, if I could get down low enough, you can tell if it's calibrating because the lights start to flash. I'm assuming that it's calibrated by now. And let's see if that helps. Oh, there we go. So apparently all I need to do was calibrate the gyros. I am so sorry. Okay, now it's flying a little better. It's still kind of a docile pitch. Okay, I've lost calibration. Pointing in the direction of the mountain, activating headless mode. Pulling back the stick 180 degrees from where the quadcopter's at. And brings it back to me. Okay. So I am so sorry, folks. I had that coming out of headless mode. I had that quadcopter pointed in the wrong direction. or not calibrated properly. But still, it's having a hard time fighting the breeze. There we go again. I don't know what that is. If I did a 180-degree turn, this is very unusual, folks. I got a feeling it is those prop guards. Okay, let's try it again. Headless mode. Pressing the button. Pulling back the stick 180 degrees from where it's at. And it brings it right back overhead. Going to the right, pulling back from that heading, pushing forward. I think that's okay. It doesn't remember the headless mode or the direction very well. Thinks this is back and that's forward. So it thinks that is right and that is left. So it kind of forgot its bearing. Let's bring it down and land it and reset it. Maybe when I did that gyro calibration, that kind of messed up with the headless mode direction. Okay, I'm pointing in the direction of the mountain. I'm moving and holding both control sticks to the lower left corner. Holding it there for about 5 to 10 seconds. And hopefully that'll have headless mode corrected. Pressing and holding the... Oh heck, I'm pointing backwards. Now I'm pointing, that was 180 degrees out, folks. Okay, now I'm pointing in the direction of the mountain. Moving and holding both control sticks to the lower left corner. That should reset that direction for headless mode. Okay, pointing forward. Okay, I'm pointing to the right now, and then I'm activating headless mode. And pushing forward, pushing to the right. Okay, that did reset the headless mode direction. But man, it's having a hard time fighting the wind again. Coming out of headless mode. And flying back to myself. I have to see other people's reviews on this, but it's having a hard time fighting wind. I'll do another review tomorrow with two more fresh batteries. This time I'm going to take the prop guards off and see how it behaves with the wind without prop guards, because this is having a hard time with we're talking about a 3 to 5 mile per hour breeze, and it just doesn't like it. Okay, I'm going to try some more maneuverable flying than just steady flying into the breeze. It starts off, and then it just starts to level off going into the breeze. I think this is an issue that needs to be corrected. I hope it's not with all of the X5Cs, because this is a cool quadcopter, just by the look of it alone. But see, it starts off nice, and then it just levels off. Let's do that again, folks. I turn around and go back into the breeze. And it starts off fighting it, and then it just levels off. Okay, my batteries are getting weak. It levels off, and then it just hovers in the breeze. I don't know if that's intentional or what. But, okay, again, this is the X5C, or X5SC Falcon. That's the name of it. Let me get my picture for my thumbnail. Okay, X5SC. Landing it. Okay, folks, that was my first review of this quadcopter. Right now, I'm thinking there's an issue with it. Again, let me review what I was experiencing. I'm in high. I'm giving it full forward pitch into the wind. The wind's coming in this direction. It starts off nicely, but then it gradually levels off like that, and then just stays hovering in midair. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but But the way it is right now, you can't fight the wind. It just will not go into the wind. I'm going to do another test tomorrow just to see if it's these prop guards. I'm worried it's these prop guards are the issue. But again, this is the first look at it. It could be just the prop guards being the problem. So I hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out.